2026 high school football season is underway here in Lakewood as the St. Edward Eagles get ready to take on the Olentangy Liberty Patriots as Olympic Forest Products brings you St. Edward High School football on the Eagles Sports Network and NEO Productions. Hi everybody, I'm Adam Mendoza. Along with me this year is Grady Lenz Piper. Now, that name may be familiar to you. He was a wide receiver on some of those great teams that the Eagles had. And Grady, so glad to have you along here on the broadcast.
Happy to be here.
Well, as we take a look at these two teams, the last time they met, it was back in 2024 in the football state semifinals. Olentangy Liberty got the win. So there is a bit of revenge on the minds of the Eagles today.
Absolutely, yeah. Big travel up from Columbus, but, revenge is on the mind for the Eagles today.
And as we look at our impact players of the game, and we look at, for St. Ed's, it's Landon Leamer. Now, these are his defensive numbers, but he's going to be playing both ways this year.
Yeah, an athlete like that, it's hard to keep him off the field. If you can add a weapon like that to an already high-powered offense, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Not only is he going to play offense and defense, he is going to return kicks. So he is kind of like that Swiss Army knife. He's going to be doing a little bit of everything. Now, on the other side of the ledger, as we look at it, it's Alex Leonard, the quarterback for Olentangy Liberty. He came in after his brother led the team to a state title, and this is his second year of starting, and he's got some pretty good numbers.
Yeah, looking good last year as a junior, coming back this year as a senior. Looking for big things out of him this year. He can do it through the air and on his feet.
And that is one thing that they will have a lot of wide receivers hitting the turf today, a very diverse type of offense. When we come back, we'll have more of the pregame as Olympic Forest Products presents St. Edward High School football on the Eagles Sports Network and NEO Productions.
It's our 60th anniversary celebration at Joyce Buick GMC.
Come celebrate with huge savings on over 500 new and pre-owned vehicles.
You pay what we pay on every Buick Envision in stock.
Save up to $12,500 off new GMC Sierras.
We're giving you top dollar for your trade today.
And that's why people say,
drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
When your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your first patient. Until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Today's game is brought to you by Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance. By Joyce Buick GMC, drive Joyce, your friends and neighbors do. By Tokar & Company CPAs, your full-service accounting team, tokar-co.com. By J.P. Farley, empowering people, elevating benefits. By the Cleveland Clinic, the official healthcare provider of St. Edward Athletics. And by NEO Productions, the official broadcast partner of St. Edward High School. It is week one of the high school football season as St. Ed's and Liberty out of the Columbus area get ready to tangle here at First Federal Lakewood Stadium. We'll take a look at our tale of the tape as, Grady, when you look at the numbers, this was not the normal Liberty type offense when you look at their numbers.
Yeah, a little bit of a down year last year, but heavy through the air and look for them to put some more points up on the board this year.
Well, the Eagles averaging 26 points a game, but total yardage was 319. So they want to try to continue that, but for Liberty, they want to push those numbers up over the 200-yard mark per game. It's time to take a look at our Joyce Buick GMC keys to the game. Drive Joyce, your friends and fellow Eagles do. And Grady, for Olentangy Liberty, they want to play as a unit on all sides of the football.
Yeah, that'll be huge for Olentangy. Coming up from Columbus, long trip, get those legs fresh, and just playing together, it's going to be a big key for them today.
And for St. Edward, tame the first game jitters. Let's talk about that from your perspective as a former player.
Yes, no, absolutely. First game jitters are a real thing. But, once you get that first drive underway, you kind of get that under the belt, and then, you kind of start moving forward. You
played 2 scrimmages. You've been practicing all year long. Now it's time to get the season going. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff as St. Ed's and Olentangy Liberty. The kickoff is next on Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football on the Eagle Sports Network and NEO Productions.
Golf can be tough.
Kind of like managing your supply chain without Olympic.
Luckily, we know how to hit out the rough.
And no Michigans needed. I mean, mulligans. You sure about that, Reed?
I've got this. It's in the hole.
Let's go!
At Olympic Forest Products, we know that feeling. For over 40 years, we've helped businesses avoid the hazards to sink long putts. Olympic Forest Products. However difficult the shot, we've got your back.
It's our 60th anniversary celebration at Joyce Buick GMC.
Come celebrate with huge savings on over 500 new and pre-owned vehicles.
You pay what we pay on every Buick Envision in stock.
Save up to $12,500 off new GMC Sierras.
We're giving you top dollar for your trade today.
And that's why people say,
Drive Joyce, your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
Well, we are just moments away from kickoff, and there you see Coach Tom Lombardo in his 11th year here at St. Ed's. And Grady, you look at him and you've played under him. What is going on through his mind and these players' minds to get this first game of the season underway?
Well, first and foremost, obviously, these players are amped up. They're excited to be out here. First game of the season, they're ready to go. Coach Lombardo, this is what he does. This is, he's got a brand new team this year, every year for that matter. But, excited to see what he can do with this group this year.
Absolute great night for football here in Northeast Ohio as we take a look at the weather. Temperatures a great 76 degrees, low humidity, winds out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour. We'll see if that's going to make a big difference. But the Eagles to start the game will be kicking into the wind.
Yeah, that's huge. Anytime you can do it before get position, it's a position battle too. Before the game even starts, you want the ball on your side.
Getting ready to kick the ball away for St. Ed's will be Luke Andrzejczyk. Eagles come into this game with 3 different kickers. You don't hardly see that for a St. Edward squad.
No, normally it's you've got your guy, but we have the depth at that position, and they're all talented in their own way.
Back to receive the kick will be Owen Rankin for Olentangy Liberty, and the 2026 season is underway as Rankin gets it at the 7. He goes right up the middle over the 20-yard line, and he'll get it close to the 24 as we take a look at the offense for the Olentangy Liberty Patriots. And you hear the horns. That is going to be a sound you're hearing a lot this year. That's to say the defense is coming out as we take a look at Alex Leonard. He is the quarterback for the Liberty Patriots. It kept it in the family. His brother is the one that won a state title. You look at his numbers, 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns. Not only can he throw the football, but he can run it as well.
Yeah, a diverse athlete, can get it done on both aspects.
On first down, they're going to give the football on a handoff over the 25 to the 26. That's going to be Grayson Davis, the 6-foot senior. Last year, he averaged 4.9 yards a carry.
Yeah, the first play of the game, something easy right up the middle. Get everybody moving, get those jitters out of the way.
Up front for the Eagles, John Papandreou, Tyler Brown, Xavier Williams, and B.P. Pelosi. That is a formidable front four. Michael Peach will get the start at linebacker along with Josh Weber and Landon Leamer. So now they go split backfield on 2nd down and 7. There's a run. Again, they give the ball over to Daniel Anayekchi, and he'll pick up the first down. And just like that, Liberty gets a quick first down.
Yeah, you can see they spread out the field a good bit, and they get to the outside, good lead blocks, and just got to work on containing the ball a little bit better.
Well, last week, the defense kind of got punched in the mouth when they got off the bus at Toledo Central Catholic, but then they were able to regroup themselves later in the ball game.
Yeah, any bus ride is tough. So for this Liberty team to come out and do this on the first 2 plays, it's good to see for them.
3-by-1 set with one in the backfield as Alex Leonard looks. He's going to drop back, looking right, looking left. He's got a man at the near side. Tackle is missed. Grayson Davis will get it over the 40, down to the 43, where you have that one-on-one tackling. You got to make those stops.
Yeah, that's a staple of any football team for that matter, but especially the St. Edward team. You got to make those open field tackles.
So Alex Leonard coming out quickly, 1 for 1 on the day. He'll pick up the yardage as they make it a 2nd down and 5. Ball spotted at the 43-yard line. Liberty in their road whites with the blue jerseys. They'll set up with 3 wide receivers to the far right side. Leonard, empty backfield, is going to run it up the middle. Has room at the 45. Got hit pretty hard right there. And coming in to make the stop was Papandreou.
Yeah, big hit from him right there. It'll give you the quarterback will feel that later in the game. You want to keep getting pops. You want to punch at that ball and beat him up as much as you can.
Well, it's a matter of making the adjustments, and Coach Pete Pappas makes those adjustments.
I've never seen anybody like him do what he does. He's really got a special mind for the game of football, and it's exciting to see what he can do.
1st and 10 for the Liberty Patriots, 2 in the backfield. Crossbuck action, they give it to Davis. Davis up the middle, gets over into St. Edward territory. He'll get to the 48-yard line, and he'll pick up 3 yards on the run.
We haven't seen any really aerial attack from this Liberty team just yet. Look for some passing plays to come up here.
So now Liberty coming in with another first down. They're going to pick up 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7. Connor Morris checking out of the ball game defensively. They bring in Davion Sims, or I believe it's Davion Sims or Noble James in there on that edge. Single back, 3-by-1 set. Leonard looking to throw on the bubble screen. Quickly read, and he gets hit at about a gain of a yard to the 47. So the Eagles did a good job reading that.
Yeah, that was great right there. Good read. A lot of eye candy movement in the backfield. You see those screen passes, they get set up, they're tricky. But, they kept their eyes on the ball, stayed to their jobs, and made a good tackle.
And that is one thing that Liberty does. They like to run those misdirections. They like to run those screens, use those 3 receivers in that setup.
Yeah, absolutely. They do it well.
So it brings up 3rd down and 6 for the Patriots. In St. Edward territory, opening drive, 2-by-2 set. Leonard's going to drop back. He's going to hit quickly, and he was looking for his tight end, Caden Schmelmer, and that goes incomplete, and that's going to force the Liberty Patriots to punt. So they moved the ball well, but stalled at midfield.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a misread out there on the outside, just maybe a quick out route, but, maybe a miscommunication, but punt here on 4th down, hopefully get some field position, see the Eagles on offense here.
Carson O'Moro is back to punt the football. Back to receive the kick for St. Ed's is Landon Leamer. We talked about the Swiss Army knife. He's going to play defense. He's going to play offense. He's going to run back kicks.
Yeah, it's awesome to have somebody like that.
Low snap, ball gets away, end over end. Leamer's going to get it at the 12-yard line, cuts to the outside, gets it back as he cuts it back to the field, as he cuts it back to the 19, and he'll pick up a little bit, and we've got a late flag thrown from the sideline. So it'll be interesting to see what the call is going to be. It's going to be on Olentangy Liberty. As you see, Langston Lucas coming out, the 6-foot senior, 61% completion rate, just 203 yards, 3 touchdowns. He came in on spells last year.
Yeah, looking for a big year out of him. He's a baseball player as well, a dual sport athlete. Coach Lombardo loves that type of athlete and his players on this football team.
So the penalty, it's going to be a big 15-yarder. That's going to push the football to the 34-yard line for St. Ed's.
Yeah, that's big to start out a drive. It's tough to start deep in your own territory, but, penalty does us a favor here. Let's see what this offense can do.
So it'll be a 1st and 10. Ball goes out to the 34-yard line. Langston Lucas is your quarterback. Colin Tedesco to the right of him. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Tedesco's going to get the football. Cuts back up the middle at the 40. He'll surge all his way to the 44-yard line, and a good run for the senior, getting the first start of his career.
Yeah, that's huge for him, and that's good for a confidence boost right there. You get that first play under your belt, come in, do the right thing, and he gets a good chunky yardage right there on a first down play.
Last year, he ran the ball 15 times for 48 yards. In Game 3 against Wayne, he had 4 rushes for 52 yards and a touchdown. He is to the right on 2nd and 1, a gain of 9. He'll come out of the backfield. Lucas looking to throw, fires the pass. Leamer at the midfield, little juke step, tries to stretch out to the 49, and he does before the stop is made by Max Zygo.
Yeah, look at Landon already. He's getting his hands all over the ball everywhere. He'll be everywhere today. It's good to see him get the ball in his hands and make plays happen.
Everybody knows that he plays defense, but he came into the school as a wide receiver.
Yeah, and he's that kind of talent that you have. You got to use him everywhere that you can.
So 3 wide receivers to the left as Langston Lucas is going to go on a quarterback keeper. He gets hit in the backfield, and he's going to get dropped for a loss of 2 yards on the play. Back into St. Edward territory at the 49. Good pursuit there by the Patriots.
Yeah, it's huge. A good contain there. We had some lead blockers out there, but, again, look for Langston to use his legs a lot this year. Coach Lombardo likes his quarterbacks to run a bit, too.
Looks like a missed assignment on that one side by Dason Williams, missing his block. And that is going to be important when you look at the downfield receivers to make those blocks.
Absolutely. That was something he stressed so much, especially when I was playing, is if you can block as a receiver, it's one of the biggest, attributes you can have.
So 2 wideouts to the near side, single setback. H-back to the left, play action, little dump pass. They get it to Joe Moore. Joe Moore at the 45. He'll get it out to the 44. He picks up that lost yardage before Chase Thornton comes in. Joe Moore is going to be so integral to the offense this year.
Yeah, everybody's got their eyes on Landon every play, but a guy like him coming out of the backfield, quick screen pass right there, and he puts his shoulder down, gets a couple extra yards. It's a good big play right there.
When was the last time in recent memory that St. Ed's really utilized a big tight end?
A funny memory of mine is a buddy of mine, Ryan Miklich, was a big key part of our team, and back in years ago. But look for him to be big this year. He's going to be a target that is favored a lot.
3rd down and 5. Lucas fires up the middle. It is caught at the 35-30 is Williams. He'll get it out to the 25, and he'll pick up the first down.
Big play there, first down catch. This guy right here, Dacian, he reminds me a lot of another buddy of mine, Kyan Mason, who's quick with it. Where's the number 1? Look, he's going to be another guy that gets a lot of targets this year.
Mason doing the job over at the University of Akron. Very similar body type.
Yeah. It's funny. It's almost a little deja vu right here.
1st and 10, ball spotted at the 25-yard line as they put the tight end in motion. It is going to be Ronnie Neal Jr. running the football. He'll get it over the 20. That's where they'll mark it, and he'll pick up 5 on first down.
Yeah, Ronnie Neal here, we've got a lot of running backs that come out of this backfield. They all are talented. They can all do their own thing. It's going to be exciting to see what these guys do this year.
So St. Ed's with 46 yards in total offense. 4:19 remaining in the opening quarter. This is the opening drive for the Eagles. They'll go 2 wide receivers, Williams and Caleb Hall. Leamer is on the near side. Neal in the backfield. He'll get hit, and he gets dropped by Knox Brenning. Brenning coming in and making that big stop, and they'll lose a yard or so.
Yeah, that's a big play by the Patriot defense right there. You can see right here, maybe a missed block on the outside and comes in, good contain, wraps him up, makes a good tackle.
So it brings up 3rd down and 7 now for the Eagles. Last year on 3rd down, they were 40% on their 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, you'd like to see that number go up a little bit, but at the same time, 3rd down is a big play, especially when you're deep into the Patriots territory here.
Neal to the left of Langston Lucas. On 3rd down, little half rollout, looks to the far side of the field, has Joe Moore. He's going to pick up the 1st down, and he gets inside the 10 as he rumbles to the 5.
One of my favorite things here that I'm seeing out of Joe Moore is the way he puts his head and shoulder down, and he gets those extra yards right here, especially on the sideline with a smaller defender. Just outruns his guy, good hands right there, gets up the field, lowers his shoulder. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch this year.
Also a member of the basketball team.
Like I said,
high
Lombardo,
expectations.
Those dual sport athletes Lombardo loves, and that's something he actually pushes a lot of his players to do too.
1st and goal at the 7-yard lines with 3 minutes to go. And they give the ball to Neal. He squirts his way over the 5-yard line down to the 4 as he picks up 3 on the play.
Yeah, good run right up the middle. This is very typical for a Coach Lombardo type of drive. Opening drive of the season for this offense. Slow, methodical, but they're getting the job done here, and they're down in the red zone now.
Brings up 2nd down, goal to go at the 4-yard line. That's a big offensive line for St. Ed's. They average 6'2", 275.
Yeah, and that's, again, Coach Scans is blessed to have that size there, but he'll always use those guys and make them great.
On 2nd down, it's going to be Langston Lucas keeping the football. He finds the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
Just like that, right up the middle. Couldn't have drawn it up better. That's a wonderful way to start this year on the offensive side of the ball.
Boy, he really powered his way over Zygo to get the touchdown.
Low center of gravity, got his shoulder down, extra yards. That's great.
Brennan Yondo on the hold. Owen Scanlon on the snap for St. Ed's. High snap brought down. Kick is up. Kick is good as the Eagles get on the board after the touchdown by Langston Lucas. St. Ed's leading it 7-0 right here as you are watching Olympic Forest Products. You're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football on the Eagles Sports Network and Enio Productions.
When your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your first patient. Until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Well, the Eagles get on the board first. Langston Lucas caps off a 10-play, 81-yard drive that took 5:32. And here's the run by Langston Lucas. He's a big kid back there. He will power his way through.
Absolutely. Low center of gravity, puts his shoulder down. And like I said, that's very typical for a Coach Lombardo opening drive. Like I said, slow, methodical, and gets the ball in the end zone.
And Coach Lombardo not happy with the TV timeout because he's got to wait for the Red Hat to give the go. So now we're going to get set and ready to go as the Eagles take the lead 7-0. Adam Mendoza, along with Grady Lenz-Pfeiffer, graduate of St. Ed's, former football player. The Eagles last year were 9-1 when they scored on their first possession.
Yeah, and that's a stat you don't often think about, but that's so important in the beginning of the game. If you can get your offense rolling, especially some new guys out there that need to get rid of those first game jitters. That's awesome to see that they do that in their first drive.
Here comes the end over end kick. It'll be into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And Olentangy Liberty will start at their 20-yard line as Max Ford could not handle that. And the defense for the Eagles coming out. It was kind of a bend, not break defensive stand on that first series for the Eagles.
Yeah, you know, a lot of kids, again, like I said, getting used to being out there. First varsity game for some of these guys. You know, they're young on this side of the ball too, but they have a guy like Lemur to lead them back there, and it's going to be a long day for these guys.
2:17 remaining here in the opening quarter at First Federal Lakewood Stadium. The 2026 season is underway, and boy, what a weekend of games in Northeast Ohio as the Liberty Patriots, champions in 2004, they're going to go with the handoff to Davis, and Davis doesn't get much on that play as he is hit by Landon Jacobs.
Yeah, good pursuit there. Makes a great tackle, wraps him up, gets him to the ground. That's, you know, you love to see that out of your DBs there.
Well, that time you had a little bit better pursuit by St. Ed's.
Yeah, that's huge, especially on that first drive. You know, the contain wasn't there as much, and to see him come down, a good pursuit, make a good wrap tackle, that was, you know, safety over here. We're in number 43, a little reminiscent of another buddy of mine, Bradley Eaton.
That's Kellen Thomas that you're just talking about. Now the Liberty Patriots on 2nd and 7 will send 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field as they give it to Grayson Davis on an out route. He gets chased. He'll break the tackle at the 30. He'll be close to the first down as he was being chased by Brandon Gay.
Yeah, you know what, this Liberty offense is trying to get to the sideline a lot. I think they're trying to open up the field here, stretch the ball out. They've obviously got some athletes on that side of the ball, and they want to utilize them as best they can.
Well, up front, they have Keegan Ryan as the center. He's got a John Carroll offer. Diedrich Sykery, Brock Allen, Maxton Balster, and Chris Colon. They're also big up front for this Patriot team.
Yeah, you know, like I said, it's always good to have some anchors there on the offensive line. That certainly helps you move the ball and control the line of scrimmage.
It'll be 3rd and a short one for the Patriots. Davis, nope, they're going to pass it to the outside. And a good open field tackle being made by the Eagles. And that tackle was made by number 83.
No, that's number 3. That's Brandon Gay again.
Brandon Gay coming in. And if he doesn't get that tackle, that receiver is gone.
Off to the races. Yeah, again, good pursuit there on the outside. Like I said, they're getting the ball to the sideline. A quick hitter to pick up the first down. They get the job done, but, you know, minimal damage from Brandon Gay. Hell of a play there.
You only needed 1 yard, and they did get that 1 yard. Carter Nelson is the receiver to the far side of the field. They go with a split backfield right now. Leonard is going to give the ball to Gray. Gray bounces to the outside. He gets a block. And there's Brandon Gay, but he does not make the tackle as he went up high, and it's going to be close to the first down marker at the 40-yard line.
Big bruising hip there from Lemur. You like to see that out of him. Good pursuit. You know, good block out here outside on the outside. Misses a tackle here, good stiff arm, but yeah, Landon comes in and makes a heck of a play. Well, those safeties and quarterbacks have to be a little more aggressive. We saw Charles Boone get taken out of the play pretty quickly there. Yeah, you know, that's something Coach Pappas will reevaluate, and obviously there will be adjustments made here when they come off the field. 30 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. It's a 2nd down and 1 at the 40-yard line. Again, split backfield. Play action fake, looking downfield. There's a big rush. Pelosi on the chase. Leonard gets hit and taken down by Josh Weber after a gain of a couple of yards on the play. Yeah, you know, you see there Leonard making a good play, making something out of nothing. That was going to be some negative yards. Pelosi gets there quick, but, you know, makes a man miss and picks up the first down. So the ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line after another first down by the Liberty Patriots. And I think they're going to let the clock expire as we're down to 5, 3, 2, 1, and that's going to be it for the first quarter of play. St. Ed's with a 7-0 lead over the Liberty Patriots. You're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football on the Eagle Sports Network and Ennio Productions.
Golf can be tough.
Kind of like managing your supply chain without Olympic.
Luckily, we know how to hit out the rough.
And no miss gets needed. I mean, mulligans. You sure about that, Reed? I've got this. It's in the hole. Let's go!
At Olympic Forest Products, we know that feeling. For over 40 years, we've helped businesses avoid the hazards to sink long putts. Olympic Forest Products. However difficult the shot, we've got your back.
It's our 60th anniversary celebration at Joyce Buick GMC.
Come celebrate with huge savings on over 500 new and pre-owned vehicles.
You pay what we pay on every Buick Envision in stock.
Save up to $12,500 off new GMC Sierras.
We're giving you top dollar for your trade today.
And that's why people say,
Drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
And welcome back. St. Ed's leading it 7-0 as we get ready for quarter number 2. You know, early on in the year, the Eagles getting a number of players already making college commitments, and there you see 4. We have to add a 5th, and Xavier Kurzak, who's going to Fordham. But look at the players and their commitments.
Yeah, you know, Jack Marquardt is the anchor of that offensive line. Good leader for these guys to have on the offensive side of the ball. Joe Moore, again, another offensive guy going to UConn, have his paws all over this game. And then obviously we've spoken a lot about Leamer. He's going to be on both sides, all 3 facets of the game actually. You know, staying in Ohio at Miami, I think it would be a great place for him. Then Pelosi, you know, big guy, anchor of the defense. Look for him to make some big plays tonight.
Well, there you see the student section. They are out in full force for week 1 of the high school football season. As the Liberty Patriots flip the sides of the field, they have a 1st and 10 at their own 43. And we're going to have a stoppage and a whistle being called by the officials. And it is going to be a timeout called by the Liberty Patriots.
Early timeout here. I'm curious to see if they saw something maybe we didn't see over up here, but
you know, this is the opening weekend of football, high school football in the state of Ohio. And, boy, there have been some doozy of games. Last night at the stadium, it was Avon with a 1-point win over St. Ignatius on a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, you know, obviously I think a lot of us saw the play at the end of the game there. Avon makes a great comeback, and, you know, it's awesome to see football is back, but, you know, those competitive type of games, it's always fun to watch.
And then you have Moeller getting really beat up by, don't let that score fool you. Princeton really had them easily 31-24.
Yeah, that Princeton team's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. They're a good team. Moeller out of Cincinnati, you know, that's consider it a hiccup. You know, that team's they're always good. They're always going to reload.
And then tonight, Warren G. Harding against Canton McKinley, who we'll see next week at Baldwin Wallace. And then the big game in Stark County, Glenville and Massillon. They went into overtime last year.
Yeah, you know, that Massillon team, a lot of people are talking about they've had some transfers come in. They've got a lot of commits on their side too. But, you know, any game with them is going to be competitive.
The Eagles with 66 total yards. Olentangy Liberty with 52. They're going to run the ball to the outside. That's Don Schwinnen. And Schwinnen will get into St. Edward territory. And let's see where they mark him out at. It'll be just shy of the 49-yard line, maybe at midfield at the 50.
Yeah, you know, again, they're getting the ball to the outside fairly easily. You know, you'd like to see St. Ed's get up there and make some plays in the backfield, maybe for a tackle for loss or, you know, some sort of negative play that can get this defense off the field.
Well, the Eagles' defense, I talked about it earlier, it's kind of like a bend but don't break, but you really want to get a 3 and out.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, that's going to be a huge part of this game for them.
2nd and 3 play action. They go with an outside hit as they get it to Schmelmer. Schmelmer gets hit as he crosses the 45. They're going to mark him at about the 42-yard line on the play being made by Kellen Thomas.
Yeah, good play there by Kellen. You got him right here. Again, getting the ball to the outside, getting their athletes in space. These open field tackles are going to be huge for the Eagles tonight.
Now they're going to have to make those open field tackles. You know, the defense this year, their mantra is 11 as 1, and really it's not going to be 10 players, 9 players. Coach Pappas wants 11 players to play as one cohesive unit.
Absolutely. You know, he wants everybody to buy into that.
1st and 10, they're going to give the ball. Nope, it's a run to the outside. Anayechi gets to the 35-yard line. He'll be close to the first down marker as he picks up about 8-9 yards on the play as they get him to the 35.
Yeah, you know, these sticks, they keep moving. They're positive plays every time. They're just taking chunks as every play.
And they're really hitting the outside part of the field. They're really going down the sidelines.
You know, maybe that's something they saw on film coming into week 1 is that whatever it may be, but it seems to be working right now. The plays are positive, and they're getting the ball up the field.
And Coach Lombardo on the sideline not happy with the way the defense is playing right now. Here comes the run on the outside. As they run it, it's Grayson Davis over the 30-yard line.
Another first down. You know, they're hash to hash here.
There you see Coach Lombardo right behind the official. You could see he's not happy with this defense right now. And you've seen that look.
Too many times to count. You know, obviously he's seeing something, and he's not a fan of it.
Well, last week they struggled at the beginning of the game against Toledo Central Catholic. The week before against Mentor, they came out firing on all cylinders on the defensive side. And right now, Liberty moving the ball pretty well, especially to the outside part of the field as they go with 2 in the backfield on 1st and 10. Now here's the bubble screen. They get it to Schmelmer. Schmelmer will get it after a couple of yards on the play. He'll pick up about 3.
Yeah, back to the left hash again. You know, they're just gashing this outside for positive plays. This defense is going to be battle tested today. They're certainly tired. You know, you just got to push through.
Alex Leonard, 5 of 6 so far in the ball game.
Yeah, they're just quick hitters, but you know they're efficient. They're making it happen, and you know this, like I said, this defense is getting tired. Look, you know, you need a big play out of here from one of your commits here. Maybe Pelosi on the outside.
Well, they go with 2 wide receivers to the near side. Backs are split in the backfield. Grayson Davis is coming to the outside. He gets a downfield block, and there is Brandon Gay once again coming outside, and the defensive backs, it looks like they're playing on an island alone.
Yeah, you know, like I said, there might be attacking this outside, this young defensive back core. You know, they're making them work for it, that's for certain.
Big stiff arm there by Grayson Davis as we have a player down on the sideline as stoppage in play, and that is, I believe, one of the linemen for the Olentangy Liberty Patriots. But, Grady, when you look at how the defense is playing today, right now, Liberty is saying, we're not going to run up the middle. We're going to the outside part of the field.
Yeah, you know, I think they noticed we have a pretty big, you know, defensive front there, and you know, they handle everything inside. They must see something on the outside. They're leaving these DBs on an island. They're just going hash to hash. But like I said, you know, they're picking up chunks at a time, and they're already into the red zone here.
There you see the great crowd as the sun's starting to set here in Lakewood. They've had 11 runs so far in the ball game. 1 up the middle, 2 over the guard, 8 on the outside.
Yeah, you know, like I said, this has to be something they game planned for coming into week 1. You know, and like I said, Coach Pappas will make adjustments on the fly. Hopefully their lineman is okay, but I know certainly the defense was able to catch their breath here for a second and make a play.
Well, the Patriots are in the red zone. Play action fake up the middle, wide open, touchdown. Schmelmer comes in, and the Liberty Patriots get on the board, and we have seen that middle open in the preseason.
Yeah, you know, like I said, they've been attacking the outside all day. Give them some misdirection going to the outside. It opens up the middle right there. Lemur lays a good hit, but not enough to keep him out of the end zone.
So the Olentangy Liberty Patriots getting on the board, and it's like you went outside. The defense gets that, and then they go right up the middle. They probably saw something on film from the last 2 scrimmages.
Yeah, you know, like I said, that's something they obviously set up right there. You know, all the eye candy going to the outside, hash to hash, all the way down the field, opens up something for them in the middle of the field, and they take advantage of it.
Here comes the kick. It is up, and it hits the crossbar, and they miss it on that kick by Evan Fowler. So after the missed extra point, 8:21 to go, St. Ed's is hanging on to a 1-point lead. You're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football on the Eagles Sports Network and NEO Productions.
When your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your first patient. Until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
As we get ready for the second quarter A missed extra point, the difference in the game today, 7-6, as the Eagles getting ready to return kicks. And, you know, when you talk about returning back to the sender, look at what the Eagles did last year with 11 special teams or defensive returns for touchdowns.
You know, anybody will say that's the difference in a game. Anytime you can make plays on the special team side of the ball. You know, punts huge, kickoffs huge, and you got somebody like Coach Corcoran that, you know, is just a mastermind at all these things.
And that punts, 3 kickoffs, fumble recoveries, those are numbers that defensive coordinators love to see.
Absolutely. You know, that takes a lot of pressure off of, you know, your offense and your defense when you can make plays like that.
Olentangy Liberty with 100 yards in total offense. They're 6 of 7 passing for 38 yards.
Yeah, a slow, methodical drive from them last time out. Gets them in the end zone. 12 plays, 80 yards, almost 6 minutes off the clock. You know, that's I like to say that's a Coach Lombardo staple right there. That's the perfect drive.
Carson O'Morrow getting ready to kick the ball away. Leamer is back to receive the kick, along with Caleb Hill. And this one is going to go into the end zone. And, boy, he got a lot of foot into that. And the Eagles will start off 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. So, the Eagles were able to score in the first quarter. This drive, a very good drive by Olentangy Liberty. This is what this game is going to be like for the rest of the night.
Yeah, you know, like I said, both of these teams being battle-tested here, week 1, opening drives for both of them. You know, it's going to be huge for St. Ed's here. They've got to answer the bell here.
Well, and you look at it for Olentangy Liberty, you know, 195 yards they average total offense, 16.9 points a game. That is unlike the Patriots.
Yeah, you know, in the past seasons, that's nothing like them. But having a returning starter at quarterback is going to be big for them.
Javon Woods is now the running back for the Eagles. That's their 3rd back as Langston Lucas looking to throw, but he's got to run as he gets to the 20, fights his way to the 24. Good defensive coverage there by the Patriots.
Yeah, you know, he had his probably one of his favorite receivers out there on a rollout, Joe Moore, but decided to tuck the ball and pick up a couple positive yards.
Well, up front on that defensive side, Lane, Rucker, and Graham. That's some pretty big players up front for the Patriots, along with Gardner and Koff on the ends. Zygo and Chase Thornton, those are the hard-hitting linebackers.
Yeah, you know, like those kids, they're going to be huge. They're the anchors of this defense here, and, you know, they've done a good job tonight, but, you know.
Caleb Hall on the near side, 2 receivers with Landon Leamer on the far side of the field. Langston Lucas, the left-handed quarterback, with an H-back. He's going to run the football up the middle. He'll get to the 35-yard line. He'll gain maybe a yard. Just some missed assignments, it looks like, on that offensive side of the football right now.
Yeah, these are all, you know, self-imposed mistakes here. Maybe a miscommunication on something in the backfield here. Good lead block, but, you know, there was really nothing going there. At least he got something positive.
And the fake wasn't doing anything when Javon Woods was nowhere near to take the fake.
Absolutely. You know, that's a huge part of it, too. When you can misread this defense, or the defense misreads this offense, those fakes are a huge part of this.
Joe Moore and Leamer in the backfield on that right side. There's a quick hitter. It is caught by Caleb Hill. He'll get it to the 45. He'll pick up the first down or the 35-yard line. He'll pick up 10 on the play.
Yeah, that's a big play right there. Third down, quick hitter, finds a spot in the zone, makes a move, makes a man miss, and positive yards. That's, you know, you love to see that.
A little bit of positive yards, as you said, and that's going to be key, as Dason Williams and Landon Leamer, the receivers on the far side. So it's a 2-by-2 set with an H-back. Now they bring one in motion. That is the handoff, and they get that to Javon Woods. Woods will pick up about 4 yards. So a different look this time. Empty backfield, but they have the running back in the slot.
Yeah, you know, and like I said, this is going to be something that they utilize quite a bit, that eye candy in the backfield, different ways to get these guys the ball and get them in space, get them moving. You know, this kid's an athlete, and, you know, if he can beat that second level, you know, he's off to the races.
Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6. Eagles once again will go with an empty backfield, 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the right, with a tight end and an H-back. So now Lucas is going to look to throw. Fires a short hitter. Well, again, the big target, Joe Moore. He's going to get out to the 48. That is where the forward progress will get to him. And for Joe Moore, that's another reception for him.
Yeah, he's going to rack those up, those quick hitters. It seems to be Langston's favorite target tonight. But, another third down coming up. This is a big play right here.
3 catches for 27 yards for Joe Moore. Langston Lucas is 6 of 6 for 63 yards. Now they got Tedesco in the backfield. He'll get the handoff on the near side. Cuts back towards the middle. And he does not find a whole lot as Max Zygo comes in to make the hit. And maybe
this is going to be close. I didn't love to see them move the ball back right before the snap, right before the play there. This is going to be a 4th and short right here. And, I think Lombardo believes in his offense here. It looks like they're going to go for it.
Last year, the Eagles were 54% on 4th down conversions. They were 25 of 46. And Coach Lombardo likes to go on 4th and 1.
Absolutely. It's not that he dislikes his punters, but I think he has, an outstanding belief in this offense.
And that's the offensive line that he's going to have that belief. Tight end H-back to the right side. It's going to be Langston Lucas with a big run up the middle. He's into Liberty secondary as he gets it down to the 42-yard line.
That's a make-or-break play for the entire game, really. And, Langston makes a big play right up the middle here. He finds the hole that the offense made for him and, takes off.
I could have run through that hole. And
I think anybody could.
And I'm slow as a truck. Now, you were the speedster on that championship team for St. X.
I don't know about that.
Well, you made it look fast. Adam Mendoza.
It's easy when you got a lot of good guys up there helping you out.
Adam Mendoza and Grady Lenspeifer, so glad to have you along here for this broadcast on the Eagles Sports Network. Now they give it to Tedesco. He's going to follow a block up the middle. Gets it to the 40 before he's taken down on a good defensive play being made by Anayechi.
Positive yards there, but something I like to see out of Tedesco right there is, he had a lot of patience on that run there. He waited for the hole to open up, and yeah, the Patriots made a good play on that, but, I like to see his patience, and, one of these times he's going to break one loose.
Anayechi last year, 20 tackles out of that defensive tackle position, another two-way player.
Yeah, it seems to me that they have a lot of those guys.
2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the right. Tedesco is the single setback. Now they bring in Williams in motion. He'll get the handoff, gets a block, has the corner at the 35, and he'll get out of bounds at the 33. Good seal blocking on that outside.
Yeah, there's Colin Tedesco again. Pads popping on that. That was a big hit there.
And we heard it up here.
Oh, you certainly did. It's a big block right there. He gets to the outside, and Dason, he's going to make plays like that all year long.
You're right. He does look like Kion Mason.
It is a true story. It's funny, it might be the number, whatever it is, the speed, but
the body form,
yeah,
the body shape
absolutely.
Too. Kion may not have been a big kid, but boy, was he fast.
He certainly was.
So they'll have Dason Williams on the near side in one-on-one coverage. They give the ball to Ronnie Neal. Neal can't get past the 35, and a very good open field tackle. Zygo coming in to make the stop.
That's a big play from Olentangy's defense right there, bringing up another 4th down.
Look at the gap that he got in.
Ball on the outside. Good pursuit right there. Just shoots that gap and makes an incredible play.
So 4th and 4. The Eagles 1 of 1 on 4th down conversions in this game in Liberty territory. Is it going to be Langston Lucas keeping the football again? Ronnie Neal in the backfield. Williams in motion. Now they bring him to the near side.
Little hard count right there, try and get him to jump off sides.
And Coach Lombardo was going to call a timeout.
Reassess some things here. And, knowing Coach Lombardo, this offense might stay on the field again.
All right, you've talked about eye candy in the game. For those folks that might not be as well-versed as you, what do you mean when you're seeing on an offense eye candy?
As a defender, if you're looking and there's a million things going on in the backfield, you have an assignment, but if there's a lot going on in the backfield, sometimes it can throw your focus off a little bit and open up things for the offense where there might be some misdirection and the ball might go to the opposite side. It's it's something that is certainly tricky for anybody at any level.
one thing you've got to give credit for, the Eagles showing off that eye candy, but the Liberty Patriots really finding the gaps and shooting through the gaps on the defensive side.
Yeah, this defense is really, they're dialed in. Another long drive. These offenses have been slow and methodical, but, they're pulling all the tricks out of their hat today. And just to move the ball, this is a heck of a battle we're watching right now.
Well, this drive right now is on its 10th play. That's a big drive.
Yeah, it most certainly is. And, we're not even into the red zone yet. Big fourth down play here. You got Trio here to the left.
With Joe Moore as the H-back to the right-hand side, hoping to get an offside call because that would give them the first down. Lucas, hard count. Oh, he pitches the football and it gets away, and it's fumbled in the defensive backfield as they tried to get it to Joe Moore on the option, but the Liberty Patriots shut down the St. Edward offense.
Yeah, huge play from the Liberty defense here. A little mishap in the backfield, but, defender from the Patriots got there quick, and, a little mishap on the football. That's going to be huge down the line here.
Knox Brenning coming in to make the hit on Langston Lucas disrupted the pitch.
It most certainly did, yeah. And, you got the Eagle defense here already. The Patriot offense, I guess, for that matter, is starting into the Eagle territory already.
So this will be another drive for the Patriots. So far for them, they have 109 in total yards, 38 yards passing, 71 yards rushing the football. And they're going to continue with the two-back set.
Yeah, look, they've got on the near side here, they've been going hash to hash. Look for more of that here.
Oh. Here's a reverse. There's going to be a long throw downfield, has a receiver, and it's overthrown as they were looking for Caden Schmelmer as the throw was made by DJ Smith.
Yeah, again, like I said, they're pulling all their tricks out of the hat today, and, a double pass right there, and he was open for a second, but you have Leamer on the back there anchoring this defense.
Sorry, that's Mason Miller.
Yeah, there he is. That's the backup quarterback there. He threw that ball pretty far, but Leamer's got it on lockdown, and, after a turnover like that or a big play like that, you want to take a shot.
Wide receivers don't have that great of an arm, do they?
Not all. No, that's for certain.
So now as we look over the offense, Miller is not out there.
No, Miller's in the backfield right now. Looks like a changeup at quarterback here.
So Miller's going to be back there to throw. It looks right, looks left, underneath, backhand throw, gets it to Schmelmer, and he'll be close to the first down. He went a little three-quarter on the throw.
Yeah, he did. A little sidearm Matthew Stafford action here. And, 2 plays he's been in, he's thrown the ball twice, and they've kept it off the ground a little bit. So maybe a little change of pace, throw something different at the Eagle defense.
Mason Miller is your quarterback. Last year, he was 8 of 23 for 77 yards with a touchdown and an interception, 35% completion rate. Third down, and
having some trouble with the sticks here on the opposite side.
Yeah, they were saying the way it was set up, it should be a 3rd down and 2, so the line to get should be at the 37-yard line, and they get that corrected.
And the sound of the Spartans here. Big play, big 3rd down play. Let's get this defense off the field here.
Schmelmer, along with Nelson, the receivers on the left-hand side. 2 in the backfield. The handoff to the outside to Schwennen. He is going to get dropped for a yard loss on the play as a great pursuit by St. Ed's. And coming in was John Troy.
And that's adjustments that Coach Pappas made, during the break when the defense was off the field. That's been working for them. Good pursuit here on the outside, big tackle, and a 4th and I'd say about medium here. It looks like the Liberty offense is going to stay out there.
So they had a 4th and a short yardage. They lose a couple of yards on the play. And it is now 4th down for the Olentangy Patriots of Liberty. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Miller in the backfield, coming in for Alex Leonard.
And you can feel the vibration, this noise. This is a big play right here.
Miller. And they're going to call a timeout. timeout by Olentangy Liberty. They wanted to see what the St. Edward defense was going to do as they go into that huddle across the field to talk to Coach John Sansbury.
Yeah, again, another 4th and medium, similar to the situation the Eagle offense had just a couple plays ago. And, that hard count, they're trying to get them to jump off sides so they can, they can gain the first down without having to do anything, without snapping the ball. 1:39
remaining in the first half. St. Ed's leading it 7-6. A missed extra point is the difference in the game.
Special teams, it's a make or break, and as Coach Flan would say, it's like free throws and layups, but it's in football. PAT is your free throw in a football game, and if you can execute on all levels, you might win the game. But a little mishap here is the difference.
Grady, you played for Coach Lombardo, you played for Coach Flannery, basketball and football, so you know their philosophies on these. And really, when you look at it, Coach Flannery knows his stuff talking about football with Coach Lombardo.
No, most certainly. And, two of the best to ever do it at St. Ed's, really.
Now that'll force a punting situation as this high end over end. Lemur is going to get it at the 3-yard line. He gets an outside block, and now he is bottled up. He goes back to the far side of the field, and he gets back to the 5-yard line.
He'll have a conversation about that on the sideline. He caught that, I want to say, on the 1 or 2 yard line. And, that's one you look to maybe bounce in the end zone, get a touchback. And now we're pinned inside our own territory, just under a minute left. But, secure play, got his hands on the ball, almost made a play. And, let's see what this offense can do with a minute and a half left.
Eagles need to get out of the shadows of their end zone. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 5-yard line. The line to gets to the 15. They've got to be very careful right now. Good snaps, good handoffs.
On a first play here, I'd expect something on 2 or maybe a hard count, maybe some motion in the backfield. Again, get that defense's eyes moving a little bit. Get them out of their own territory.
Williams and Dason Williams and Caleb Hall, they're going to hand the ball off as that handoff to Ronnie Neal, and they'll pick up maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, your offense is kind of minimized when you're stuck in your own territory like this.
1:09 to go.
They actually got negative yards, so they're pinning themselves back even more.
Eagles lose a yard on the play, brings up 2nd down and 11. It's really, look, you've got this big offensive line, but the defensive side of the football is just as big. It's just they're not able to get those big cracks up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, halftime coming up soon. I'm certain that they'll make their adjustments, but things are going to have to change here for the offense to get it moving.
Here comes Williams. Good pursuit as they get dropped for another loss. Zygo coming in to make the stop on the end around, and the defense for Liberty really pursuing the offense of the Eagles.
Yeah, a lot of athletes on this side of the ball for St. Ed's, but they've done a wonderful job containing them, and it looks like Langston's going to take his time, and they might take this into halftime here.
15 seconds remaining. The Eagles do not have to run a play as they will go into the locker room with a 7-6 lead, pinned back deep in their own end, and they deferred to the second half. So they'll get the football to start the second half of football. One half is in the books. St. Ed's leading it 7-6 over the Patriots. Week 1 of the high school football season. You are watching Olympic Forest Products St. Edward High School football on the Eagle Sports Network and Ennio Productions.
When your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your first patient. Until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
I got $20 in Shankston.
Yeah, this is going to be out of bounds to Michigan.
Some people play it safe, others grip it and rip it.
That's why I call long drive right down the fairway.
Just like Olympic, long reach, no shortcuts. For over 40 years, Olympic's been hitting it long and straight, delivering dependable, high-quality pallet solutions with national coverage and local service.
Fairways and freightways. Keep it straight, keep it consistent.
Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance.
It's our 60th anniversary celebration at Joyce Buick GMC.
Come celebrate with huge savings on over 500 new and pre-owned vehicles.
You pay what we pay on every Buick Envision in stock.
Save up to $12,500 off new GMC Sierras.
We're giving you top dollar for your trade today.
And that's why people say,
Drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
Golf can be tough.
Kind of like managing your supply chain without Olympic. Luckily, we know how to hit out the rough. And no Michigans needed. I mean, mulligans. You sure about that, Reed? I've got this. It's in the hole. Let's go!
At Olympic Forest Products, we know that feeling. For over 40 years, we've helped businesses avoid the hazards to sink long putts. Olympic Forest Products. However difficult the shot, we've got your back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please direct your attention to the field and welcome back your St. Edward Marching Eagles. The Marching Eagles are under the direction of Mr. John Cheeks and Ms. Rachel Russo. They are joined by Production Director Jonathan Carmen and Color Guard Director Mac Fisher. The Marching Eagles seniors have selected some of their favorite songs that are sure to get a crowd rocking. Enjoy the performance of AC/DC's Thunderstruck. Many years later, trying to shed his clean image, he released a funk-inspired album that added the edge he was looking for. He drew upon a true story to create this, one of his most signature tracks. Featuring our outstanding color guard and majorette, this is Bad. single blade and heavy metal was pioneered by the English band Black Sabbath. They enjoyed great success with their albums, and people took to their sound and never looked back. Releasing 8 albums in a 9-year span to critical and commercial success, the band eventually parted with their frontmen due to personal issues. After this split, Black Sabbath could not quite find their footing. However, that frontman, Ozzy Osbourne, came out swinging. Here is his debut single, Crazy Train.
Yeah. Good to go?
Yeah. Today's game is brought to you by Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance. By Joyce Buick GMC, drive Joyce, your friends and neighbors do. By Tokar & Company CPAs, your full-service accounting team, tokar-co.com. By J.P. Farley, empowering people, elevating benefits. By Cleveland Clinic, the official healthcare provider of St. Edward Athletics. And by NEO Productions, the official broadcast partner of St. Edward High School. A missed extra point. That is the difference as St. Ed's leads it over Olentangy Liberty in the first half of action here from First Federal of Lakewood. Adam Mendoza along with Grady Lentz Piper. So glad to have you along here on the Eagle Sports Network. Grady, when you look at this first half, just some quick thoughts of what you've seen from the Eagles.
Yeah, offense came out strong. First drive, got it in the end zone, and since then it's kind of been all Olentangy here. Their offense is moving the ball well, keeping our defense on the field, and keeping them on their heels, and look for that to change up here in the second half.
As we look at that second half, it's going to be really important. The Eagles are going to get the football to start the second half.
It's going to be big. They come out strong again, opening drive, second half, hopefully punch it in again.
We still got more coming up. We'll have highlights coming up next as you are watching Olympic Forest Products, bringing you St. Edward High School football on the Eagle Sports Network and NEO Productions.
It's our 60th anniversary celebration at Joyce Buick GMC.
Come celebrate with huge savings on over 500 new and pre-owned vehicles.
You pay what we pay on every Buick Envision in stock.
Save up to $12,500 off new GMC Sierras.
We're giving you top dollar for your trade today.
And that's why people say,
Drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
When your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your first patient. Until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Seven to 6, St. Ed's with the lead over Olentangy Liberty as the team's getting ready for their halftime warm-ups as we get ready for the third quarter play. And not much when you talk about highlights, but they've been important ones. The first one, Langston Lucas getting it into the end zone.
Yeah, opening drive touchdown. Langston Lucas carries it himself, bulldozes, and gets a touchdown.
That gave the Eagles a 7-0 lead. But on the other side of the ledger, it was a pass play that they connect for Liberty, and they get it to Schmelmer, and they miss the extra point.
Yeah, that's going to be the difference in today's game.
Coming up, we'll have this. We'll do the stats after this last play, and let's take a look at our stats. The numbers brought to you by Tokar & Company CPAs, your full-service accounting team, tokar-co.com. And you look at the numbers, the Eagles, known for rushing, not running the ball well today.
Yeah, Liberty defense has kind of shut that down today, and, wouldn't be shocked to see them get more after it here in the second half, get the ball in the air too, and just get that ball moving a little more.
Pretty balanced for Olentangy Liberty, 69 yards on the ground, 46 yards passing. They do lead in total yardage with 115. Only one penalty in this game against Olentangy Liberty, and that was a 10-yarder.
Yeah, I was going to say, not a lot of laundry on the field here in the first half. Hopefully, we can get to see some more of that here in the second half.
7-6, St. Ed's with the lead as we head towards the third quarter. Coming up, we'll have second half action from First Federal Lakewood Stadium. You're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football on the Eagle Sports Network and NEO Productions.
Golf can be tough.
Kind of like managing your supply chain without Olympic. Luckily, we know how to hit out the rough. And no Michigan's needed. I mean, mulligans. You sure about that, Reed? I've got this. It's in the hole. Let's go!
At Olympic Forest Products, we know that feeling. For over 40 years, we've helped businesses avoid the hazards to sink long putts. Olympic Forest Products. However difficult the shot, we've got your back.
It's our 60th anniversary celebration at Joyce Buick GMC.
Come celebrate with huge savings on over 500 new and pre-owned vehicles.
You pay what we pay on every Buick Envision in stock.
Save up to $12,500 off new GMC Sierras.
We're giving you top dollar for your trade today.
And that's why people say,
Drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
Well, 7-6 our score as we are getting close to the start of the second half of action. St. Ed's winning it right now, 7-6. We talked about the keys to the game at the beginning of the ball game. Olentangy, one of the big keys we said about them, Grady, is to play as a unit.
And you know what? They've really followed through here in the first half. Offense has been consistent. Defense has kind of, held this St. Edward offense to a minimum.
And then we talked about the tame the first game jitters. I think it's more on the defensive side that they have these first game jitters.
Yeah, I agree. But, like I said, a young core group of guys here on the defensive side of the ball. Look for them to open things up and contain this Olentangy offense a little bit more.
Well, we've got a second half of football to come up next here on the Eagles Sports Network. The Eagles will get the football to start the second half, as we'll keep it here. And, we talked about the first half. What do you see that the Eagles are going to have to do differently, not only on the offensive side, but the defensive side of the football?
Yeah, I think we could start on the defensive side of the ball. This Olentangy team has been going hash to hash, pushing everything to the sidelines, getting their guys open in space. Our defense the St. Ed's needs to contain a little bit better. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you just look to maybe some more big plays. Things haven't really opened up just yet. And I know Coach Lombardo likes to set those kind of things up, and they come. But this is a battle right now, and you need that big play to kind of blow things up.
And looking at Coach Lombardo at one point in that first half, he was not happy with the defensive effort.
No, I think effort and just execution, both, the two things that you need were not doing very well. So, look for them to make adjustments and now come back a little bit stronger here.
Their big mantra is 11 as one, and I've seen tape of practices during the week. When they make a mistake, everybody, they get punished, but they all know this is what's going to happen to you.
Absolutely. Coach Pappas, like I said, he wants everybody to buy in. Whether you're the guy on the field making the plays or not, you're a core unit, and to have everybody bought in and like you said, 11 as one, it's it's really deeper than that in some regards. It goes through the whole team.
Well, we've seen Liberty run the ball pretty well in that second quarter play. After that first couple of possessions, they really started getting their offense in motion. And this is a team in the Columbus area that they're looked at highly in the OCC, but after that, they really weren't being taken seriously. This is a good Patriot squad.
Without a doubt. They came to play, that's for sure.
It'll be Lemur back to receive the kick, as this one's going to go into the end zone. That goes 9 yards deep into the end zone, and the Eagles will have it 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line on a very good kick by Carson O'Moro.
Yeah, every kickoff he's had, that's going to be huge for their special teams unit. When he's kicking the ball off, it's going to go into that end zone.
And that really cuts off a big play, especially the run back. As you see Langston Lucas coming out to get this offense going. Langston Lucas on the day, 6 of 6 for 63 yards with an 18-yard long pass. So the Eagles will come out with Tedesco to the left of Lucas with two wide receivers on either side. Now they bring Williams in motion, play action fake, outside pass, Lemur catching it at the 31-yard line, and that is going to be his first or second catch of the day.
Yeah, getting him in space there, getting him isolated one-on-one on the sideline, and, he makes a good catch, gets out of bounds, and that's the way you want to open up a drive there.
Brings up a 1st down and 10 after they get the 1st down to start this second half drive, as Williams and Hall are the receivers to the far side. Leamer in single coverage to the near side. Tedesco in the backfield. He'll get the handoff, looking up the middle, tries to get through that tough defense, but Ben Rucker attacks him. He has an Otterbein offer, and then you see some late hitting between Jack Marquardt and one of the defensive linemen for Olentangy Liberty.
Looks like Carter Cole, props to him, honestly. You got Jack Marquardt going to Missouri next year. That's the anchor of our offensive line here, and, it's not so much chippiness, but, you like to see them finish the plays like that.
Well, you've got 4 players on that offensive line for the Eagles that made all-district. Little pass over to Leamer. He goes up to the middle, 35, spins his way to the 40. He'll be shy about 3 to 4 yards of the 1st down as they start to use him a little more in the offense.
Yeah, I was going to say, he wasn't so much missing in the first half, but, they're finding ways to get him the ball here and get him moving on the offensive side of the ball.
And if you're Coach Lombardo, you want that defense to kind of concentrate on him, because that may lead the big man, Joe Moore, to get underneath the coverage for a big pass.
Absolutely. It was Langston's favorite target in the first half, as he had 3 catches for 27 yards, and he'll be available here in the second half as well.
H back to the left. They bring Williams in motion. It's Langston Lucas running the football on a keeper. He's going to get a 1st down. Gets his helmet knocked off, but he gets to the 48-yard line on a vicious hit by that Patriot defense.
Yeah, good run from him right up the middle here. Lowers his shoulder, and that's a big hit there, but, I think Langston will be all right.
So with Langston Lucas's helmet coming off, he's got to sit out a play. That brings up Joe D'Ambrosia into quarterback, but he can run the football as well.
I was going to say, not much of a drop-off here just because he's a backup. He's a very talented player as well.
3 down linemen, they send out Tedesco. Now it's going to be D'Ambrosia running the football. He's at the 35 as he gets out to the 42-yard line. And, boy, just like that, we saw him run in preseason. He can run the football. Now, will he stay out there?
It doesn't look it right now, but, that's good for him, too. Getting out there, first play, picks up a big 1st down, keep this drive moving.
So no drop-off when you look at Langston Lucas and Joe D'Ambrosia. Langston Lucas coming back out on the field after he got his helmet knocked off, sitting out of play. Both quarterbacks can run the football.
Absolutely. Coach Lombardo loves that dual-threat quarterback. They can get it done through the air, and they can get it done with their legs.
That was a big 1st down from D'Ambrosia for the Eagles. 1st down and 10 in Liberty territory. Moore in motion. Quick hitter over to Dason Williams. He's got blocks as he gets it to the 42-yard line.
Taking a bit of a page out of Olentangy's book here. We're getting the ball to the sideline, getting our athletes out in space, and, we're due for one here. I think one's going to break here.
A little bit different setup by the wide receivers on that play.
Yeah, you had 2 stacked receivers on either side of the line there, and like I said, going back to the eye candy that we talked about in the first half, you throw something like that, it's different for the Olentangy defense. It makes them think a little bit harder.
Pick up a 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5. Langston Lucas now 9 of 9 on the day. We'll have 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the near side. Landon Leamer is on the numbers. Tedesco in the backfield to the left of Lucas. In motion is Williams. It'll be Lucas keeping the football to the near side at the 30. He'll be close, and he will get the 1st down as he's knocked down at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I know Leamer will be, beat himself up a little bit on that play. I think if he holds his block for maybe a second longer, that play gets a lot more.
Langston Lucas running the ball very well tonight for St. Ed's. Lucas, 18 yards on 8 carries, 2.3 yards a crack.
They've been very efficient carries.
Williams in motion. It'll be Lucas on the run, but he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage by Knox Brunning, but he picks up the 3 to 4 yards. and it's 3 to 4 yards in a cloud of rubber pellets.
Yeah, like I said, the numbers may not speak it, but you look at it here from our view, and he's making plays all over the field right now with his legs.
One interesting comment that you made here at halftime, you said, boy, this game is going fast. Talk about it from your perspective up here in the booth and then on the field.
As a player and on the field, I think the game slows down a little bit. And watching it from up here, it's a different view, but the game is a bit sped up, and maybe it's because I'm a couple years removed now, but it's a totally different world up here than down there.
2nd down and 7 for the Eagles as Ronnie Neal in the backfield. It's going to be Lucas on a rollout, and that one got thrown, and it goes right back in, and he throws it, and it's going to be an illegal pass as that was batted into the hands back to Langston Lucas.
Yeah, that is something I can't say I've really ever seen before. We hope that the defender there for
Cooper
Liberty
Koff.
is okay. Yeah, Cooper. I hope Cooper's all right. But, thankfully there's minimal damage here.
There is a flag on
yeah.
the play at the 41. I'm wondering if it's the illegal pass.
Yeah, I think they're discussing it right now. But, he had a receiver there in the flat who had some green grass in front of him. But, like I said, he made a good play on the ball, batted it down, and I'm not sure how it made its way back into Langston's hands. But he, like I said, he got the ball out of bounds. I think they're discussing to make a call right here.
So the referee, Dan Potopsky. So illegal pass, illegal forward pass, loss of down, and a few yards back. The ball will be at the 45-yard line. And so it's going to be St. Ed's on 3rd down.
And a mile.
Yeah, they need to get to the 21-yard line. 3rd down and 24 for the Eagles. But that shows you the outside rush by the Liberty Patriots tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, they're getting some pressure in, and, he made a good play on the ball. 3rd and a long way to go. Hopefully we can get a chunk back here.
24 yards needed for the line to get. That is the 21-yard line. Eagles got pushed back to the Olentangy Liberty 45. This is the 9th play of the drive.
And certainly the biggest one here for sure.
Tight slots with receivers. No running back in the backfield. Lucas is going to throw. Lucas underneath Joe Moore, and he only got about a couple of yards before the tackle made by Knox Brunning once again. He's all over the field.
Special teams unit coming out here.
And we'll get our first look at Landon Walcom, the center and punter. 6'1", 315 pounds. Carter Nelson, I believe, is back. Carter Nelson back to receive. Landon Wakeham standing at his 44. And he sends this one into the air. And it goes through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback as Walcom comes in with another huge leg. He's got a big leg.
Literally. Literally, yeah, physically for sure. It's something you certainly may not expect, but offense comes off the field here, definitely going to draw some things up, and getting this defense back on the field. Hopefully, like I said, we got to contain this Liberty offense here, keep things in between the hashes.
The Eagles had a 10-play drive and took a lot of time off that clock.
Yeah, just shy of 6 minutes there, and that eats up a lot of time. But if you're coming up with no points, it does hurt a little bit.
Alex Leonard is back in as the quarterback to start the second half. Now the officials having a word. So the referee saw something there, but maybe a warning or something of that nature, or just wanting to get something and going. Now, Liberty will have 2 wide receivers on the numbers to the near side, with the receiver tied on the left and 2 backs. They've been pretty consistent with the 2-back set tonight.
Yeah, and it's been working. So whatever it is, they're sticking to it, and receivers into the boundary here. Maybe they go into the boundary.
Unbalanced line to the right. They'll give it to Grayson Davis. He's in the secondary as he gets to the 29-yard line. He'll pick up 9 yards, and he'll be shy of the first down marker. He has just been running through some big holes up front.
Yeah, this line, they're making work of our D-line right now, and, that's a big play to open up a drive after a punt there.
So Davis, last year, ran the ball for 647 yards.
He's not new to this.
Gain of 9 for him. 2 in the backfield again. Davis again following a block up the middle. He'll get the first down as he gets to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, they're sticking to the run here. It seems like, and they're making adjustments from the second half. They were going hash to hash in the first half, and now it seems they're attacking the middle here in the second half.
You could see how big of a hole they have on that St. Ed's defense that Grayson Davis is running through. Davis so far in the game, 48 yards on 8 rushes.
Yeah, it makes it pretty easy when you got something like that up front, giving you the holes there.
2 wide receivers to the right-hand side on 1st and 10 at the 34. It'll be the quarterback, Leonard, and he gets taken down, and I believe that was Landon Leamer to come in. They'll drop him for a yard on the play.
That is a huge play from our defense. Now this Liberty offense is behind the sticks on second down, and, look for more of that out of this defense. They need big plays like that.
They really needed to have this big play.
Yeah, great. You had a lot of hats to the ball, and, that's part of what Coach Pappas preaches, too, is he calls it a swarm, 11 hats to the ball.
4:38 and the clock continuing to roll here in the third quarter. Still a 1-point lead. The difference is an Olentangy Liberty missed extra point. They'll go with 2 receivers on the short side of the field with 2 in the backfield. Handoff, Davis up the middle. He'll get hit again, and nothing going there as that Eagle defense up front is saying enough of this. Let's stop the run.
You love to see that, too, because this defense is so energetic that they provide a spark for the offense. If we can get them back on the field here, it energizes the crowd, it energizes the team, and, it really gets the everybody going.
Third down and 12 at the 32. They'll bring 1 in motion. Single setback. Leonard's going to force the throw. Has a receiver on the right side. And they're going to get him on an open field tackle. And that was John Troy to make that open field tackle on Grayson Davis.
Huge play there for the defense. He was out on an island by himself. They got an athlete out in open space here. Going back to what was working, and, he comes down, good pursuit, right around the shoelace tackle and saves a potential first down there.
He doesn't make that tackle. He's off to the races there. That is a huge, huge defensive stand for this Eagle team.
No doubt about it.
Landon Leamer is back at his 32-yard line to receive the punt. 7-6, under 3 minutes to go in quarter number 3. A lot of movement at that line. 10 at the line of scrimmage. Here comes the rush. And it's going to be a penalty on the Eagles. We've seen that over the years where that over-aggressiveness, it's going to be a personal foul, 15 yards.
This play is so hard all the time. Like, he's making a play on the ball. It's really, that's
Charles Chucky Boone to make the play.
Yep.
And that gives Olentangy Liberty new life. Just when the defense comes up and makes big plays, there is the big mistake.
Yep, and that's all self-imposed, and that's a tough play there. That's hard to back up there, and it's going to be a big spark for this Olentangy offense here.
So they get the benefit of the Eagles' first penalty of the ball game.
Yeah, like I said at halftime, there hasn't been a lot of laundry on the field, and both penalties that have come have been self-imposed mistakes, and that's just something he's going to beat himself up for, but make it up with a play here on defense.
Well, the officials still have to walk off the penalty, and it's going to be a big 15-yarder, which will put Olentangy Liberty near midfield at the 49-yard line. That's a huge, costly penalty for St. Ed's, and that gives Olentangy Liberty a lot of options right now.
It most certainly does. Yeah, it's like a fresh new start to a new drive. And, we did our job on the drive before, and just a small little mistake cost us yards and a new life for the Liberty offense.
Don Schwinnen in the backfield along with Grayson Davis. 2 wideouts on the near side of the field. Alex Leonard between the two. Davis getting the football up the middle, bouncing for a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Got initially hit at the line of scrimmage, but then was able to eke out another yard.
Yeah, they're going back to it, and he's seeing something up the middle, and, defense is doing a good job of containing him here.
Tyler Brown, one of those young players up front. When you look at it, Tyler Brown is a junior, Papandreou a junior, Pelosi's the senior statement as a senior, and Xavier Williams a sophomore.
Yeah, it's good to have Pelosi there anchoring that defensive line, but, a lot of big bodies and young bodies there on the defensive front.
3 wide receivers, no tight end now. They give it to Davis. Davis gets hit in the backfield, and he'll lose 3 yards on the play. Troy in there on the tackle, along with...
Looked like Leamer got in there again.
And Kellen Thomas.
Yeah, wonderful play. Coming off the edge here. Good contain, makes a read, and he was just, that play was going nowhere from the start.
Making the initial hit was BP Pelosi.
And that's your guy right there. You're looking for them to make big plays. It doesn't have to be the interception, the fumble, recovery, whatever it is. A tackle for loss goes a long way. And like I said, it brings a lot of life back to this defense, and, it energizes the offense too. Brings up a 3rd down and 11. It'll be a passing situation for Alex Leonard as he has 4 wide receivers. Drops back, looking to run, and he's going to go down for a sack. Coming in to make the play is Josh Weber. What a big play by the Eagle defense. And it couldn't come at a bigger time. I mean, they puts them behind the sticks right here, coming right up the middle on a blitz, just runs by his defender. And that looks like Miller actually was in the game to throw the ball, but he swallows him up and puts him to the floor.
So the big loss puts him at a 4th down and 18, and that'll force Olentangy Liberty to punt the football. What a huge defensive stand. Minus the penalty, the Eagles defense really showed up in this set of downs.
Yeah, that was huge. You give new life to the Liberty offense. They come out, and, the defense just held them again. That was really big.
Leamer back at his 15-yard line awaiting the punt. Up in the air, end over end. It's going to be short. Leamer saying get away from the football. It'll take a Liberty bounce inside the 20, inside to about the 17-yard line. So a good punt there by the Patriots, and that puts the Eagles inside their own 20 with 16 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
The defense did their job there. Hopefully it energized this offense here and they can get it going.
So the Eagles will come out. They'll bring out Tedesco as your running back. They've been running 2 to 3 running backs. Neal, Tedesco, sometimes Javon Woods. Langston Lucas with 21 yards rushing. Has 76 yards passing. The Eagles with 134 yards. So neither offense moving the ball very well. 121 for Olentangy Liberty.
Yeah, it's been really quite stagnant here. Hopefully we can open it up here and get it going.
Langston Lucas has Williams in motion. Williams on the outside run, spins his way to the 26-yard line. Gets a couple of breaks there as the tackle made by River Graham.
The clock winding down, you put up the 4s here.
That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th quarter. St. Ed's leading it 7-6. 12 minutes of football remaining here in week 1 of the high school football season. You're watching Olympic Forest Products St. Edward High School football on the Eagle Sports Network and NEO Productions.
Golf can be tough.
Kind of like managing your supply chain without Olympic. Luckily, we know how to hit out the rough. And no Michigans needed. I mean, mulligans. You sure about that, Reed? I've got this. It's in the hole. Let's go!
At Olympic Forest Products, we know that feeling. For over 40 years, we've helped businesses avoid the hazards to sink long putts. Olympic Forest Products. However difficult the shot, we've got your back.
It's our 60th anniversary celebration at Joyce Buick GMC.
Come celebrate with huge savings on over 500 new and pre-owned vehicles.
You pay what we pay on every Buick Envision in stock.
Save up to $12,500 off new GMC Sierras.
We're giving you top dollar for your trade today.
And that's why people say,
Drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
Good crowd on hand here at First Federal Lakewood Stadium as we get ready for the start of the fourth quarter, and the Eagles hanging on to a 7-6 lead. Adam Mendoza along with Grady Lenz-Pfeiffer. So glad to have you along here on the Eagles Sports Network. Fourth quarter.
Glad to be here, and big fourth quarter coming up here. Eagle offense back on the field, and hopefully get a spark of energy from this defensive stop they had just a minute ago.
So after the punt and the run by Dason Williams, the Eagles will have it a 2nd and 2. Tedesco in there in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff, looks up the middle, size the stride stripe, and he'll gain maybe a yard. Let's see where he falls to. They're going to say it's a first down as he picks up 2 yards.
Here we go, right up the middle. Just makes a move on a guy, gets a couple extra yards, falls forward, and gets those sticks moving.
Initial hit being made by number 33, Ben Rucker. He's been all over the place.
He sure has, yeah. And, like I said, that's their big guy up front, making a lot of plays, wreaking a lot of havoc for this offensive line here for the Eagles.
Lemer and Williams are the receivers to the top of your screen. Single receiver to the near side. Watch for Joe Moore. He is the tight end at the top. Single setback. Tedesco, nope, it's a pass on a good slant to Landon Lemer, and we got a flag thrown, and it's going to be on St. Ed's. Illegal man downfield.
Quick hitter there. Sometimes those can get tricky, and those are just, mistakes you got to wrinkle out after week one. You see that happen more often now. You can't let that happen again.
Ineligible man downfield. We'll take a look at who that receiver is, and
yeah,
that's number 78.
Yeah,
that is Samuel Shaheed. Was looking to pick up a block of a linebacker, but a little too far ahead.
And Coach Lombardo loves the aggressiveness, loves him getting to the second level there to make a block, but that's just a young guy making a costly mistake here, putting us behind the sticks.
Loss of 5 on the play, first down and 15. Williams and Hall are the receivers on the near side. Now Joe Moore comes to the near side. It'll be Williams and Lemer on the right. Tedesco comes out of the backfield. Looking to the near side. Hall picking it up. What a downfield block as Hall gets to the 36-yard line. And oh my, that lineman coming in again.
Like Marquardt there making
that was Jack Marquardt making the hit.
That's what you love to see out of your linemen. Linemen will tell you that they're athletes too, and you see he gets out of there quick, lays down a block that really revives his drive a little bit.
Is that considered a pancake?
Oh, I would most certainly consider that a pancake.
So that brings up a 2nd down and 3 after the nice pickup there on the pass play by Langston Lucas. Williams in motion. Lucas running it up the middle. Gets over the 35. Squirts out maybe a yard gain on the play to the 37.
Big third down here.
Eagles on 3rd down. They're 4 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Checking in on the defensive side is Chase Wiley.
Bringing in an extra lineman here.
3 down linemen right now for the Liberty Patriots. You look at that secondary at the 40-yard line. Now they start to crawl up. It'll be Lucas on the run. First down, St. Ed's.
And there it is again. It's just those small chunks, but time and time again, he keeps making it happen here with his legs.
Langston Lucas picking up the run. Look at the hole made. Actually, he made it himself as he got outside the tackle box.
Yeah, and then he puts his head down. He gets those extra yards, and like I said, time and time again, he keeps doing this.
Now D'Ambrosio comes back in. Lucas getting a break. First down and 10, D'Ambrosio, the quarterback. Williams in motion. D'Ambrosio to run the football. He got popped at the line of scrimmage, but he gets to the 45-yard line. Wow.
And it seems those quarterback runs, they're working, you get your good 3-4 chunky yards every time, and these quarterbacks, they keep getting it done with their legs here.
Again, you get D'Ambrosia. He picks up 3 yards on the play, gives Langston Lucas a little bit of a breather after that hard hit. Now Lucas comes back in.
Yeah, and what a blessing it is to have two guys that can really do it, with no drop-off coming from either player.
Eagles with 165 yards in total offense. They have run the ball for 77 as Lucas has Tedesco to his left. Now Williams in motion. Williams on a jet sweep. Spins his way to the 49-yard line as Tedesco downfield tangling up with Gabe Levin. Got to be careful.
Yeah, some of those extracurriculars after the play, that can cause some maybe a flag or something. But, you like to see a guy finishing the play like that and, doing it the right way, though.
2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3 on the jet sweep. Dason Williams, 4 carries for 16 yards, and they've been a hard 16 yards.
No, they most certainly have been. And, they've been using him a lot with emotion in this offense, too. You can tell he's got some speed to him.
There is a penalty. Personal foul on St. Ed's, and I think that might have been on Tedesco. And boy, Coach Lombardo is flipping his lid. Wow.
Literally. I don't think he agrees. And, again, it just seems like every time this offense gets something going, gets a drive going, it's just a penalty that, sets us back here.
That is the 3rd penalty for St. Ed's, 25 yards in total penalty yards. And that hurts.
And it all seems it's coming in the second half here.
So it makes it a 2nd down and 18. Ball is pushed back to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really agrees with this one here.
Coach Lombardo trying to figure out what the play is going to be. And he's just staring down the officials. He's just livid with the officials.
As a player,
you've seen that look
far too many times. It's quite the demoralizing look there.
There you see Coach Scanlon behind there, not happy as Coach Lombardo pleading his case there on the sideline to deaf ears.
I think he wants an explanation here. He really hasn't gotten much.
Lombardo saying it should be 2nd down.
It should be.
Now they move it to 3rd down.
Referee just shrugged his shoulders. I don't know. We'll make something happen here.
Williams in motion. Play action. And the ball is fumbled, and it's going to be picked up by Olentangy Liberty. And the pickup is made by Carter Cole after Langston Lucas was crushed.
Yeah, a little bit of a pump fake. Tried to get the guys off the ground, make a play out wide, and things just didn't go our way on this drive here. Liberty with a big play on defense.
And now Liberty inside the red zone to start this drive. You had the big penalty. Now you had the fumble, first turnover of the game. And Coach Lombardo and the official are just having words at each other. And the officials jaw back at him. Wow, you don't usually see that out of an official. That one, Potopsky just lost his cool.
Yeah, like you said, you don't see that very often. And Lombardo's been around this game far too long to know that there's something obviously wrong there.
Leonard looking for a corner route, and it's broken up on a good defensive play by the Eagles. That play made by Brandon Gay.
Yeah, what a play right there. He just blanketed him the entire time. That really never had a chance. If the Olentangy receiver came down, that would have been Carter Nelson. If he came down with that ball, that would have been, Sports Center top 10 type of play.
You have been on the sidelines when the coaches are heated. What does that do for the players on the field when they don't seem to be getting any respect possibly from the official?
It's tough for a player, but any coach will tell you that is between the coach and the referee. And it's always good to know that your coach has your back, but, it's tough sometimes when it feels like the whole world's against you there.
Cooper Wagner in the back, but it's going to be Alex Leonard getting hit, and he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play. Coming in on the tackle is Michael Peach.
Michael Peach, big play there, getting a tackle for a loss there. Firing up this defense, and the offense kind of got gypped there a little bit towards the end of the drive, and this defense coming out and making some big plays here.
Third down and 13 for the Liberty Patriots. There you see Pappas calling the defensive play.
The mastermind behind it all. You know, you're seeing a little bit of more of a spark out of this defense here in the second half, and obviously that comes with adjustments, and, you know, I'm certain a motivational speech there at halftime that fired these guys up.
Nelson and Ford are the receivers on the left, Wagner on the near side. Eagles looking to blitz. Leonard looking to throw. Grayson Davis has lots of room at the 10, the 5, and he's inside the 4, and he'll pick up the first down. There was a lot of green there for Grayson Davis.
Yeah, you know, that's a tough play to make there if you're a defender there. Get the ball on the outside, going back to what was working, and, you know, big play here, making a tackle, keeping him out of the end zone. But
Noble James coming in to make the touchdown-saving tackle. It brings up first and goal to go at the 5. Now, you're Olentangy Liberty. You've got some options.
Funny enough, and I'll say this from past experience for sure, is inside the 5-yard line is one of the hardest places to score from. The field is just very condensed here.
Schmelmer and Nelson, receivers to the left. 2 in the backfield. Handoff goes to Grayson Davis. Davis trying to file a sea of humanity, and the pile just stops at the 5-yard line. No gain on the play.
Yeah, defense really stood their ground there. Made a good play, trying to get the ball up the middle, maybe squeak one through, but a really good stop there from the Eagle defense.
Brings up a second and goal to go at the 5. Mohamed Assad checking in, along with Connor Morris on that defensive side.
And these are things you practice every day in practice. These goal line stands right here. This is what you live for right here. This is football.
2 in the backfield. 3 in the backfield. It's Davis as the Wildcat, and he's going to score. Grayson Davis gives the Liberty Patriots the lead at 12-7. Will they go for 2, or will they continue to try to just kick the extra point?
Yeah, you know, a shotgun snap, you loaded up the backfield, gave him a lot of lead blockers, and, you know, it was really just green grass in front of him, finds the painted area for the touchdown.
Grayson Davis with over 50 yards rushing the football, and it looks like Liberty is going to go for the 2-point conversion.
Another big play here.
Or maybe because they're bringing out one unit, sending off another unit, and
looks like a timeout here. Give both sides some time to draw things up. I'm not really sure what's going on here.
There was no indication of who made and who called the timeout, as the officials are looking at each other. I mean, either there's a timeout, or these referees are saying no timeout. And he said, why are you giving them all this time, Coach Lombardo complaining?
You know, Lombardo's been giving these referees an earful, but I really think, you know, it's honestly well-deserved. There's a lot of confusion on the field. It feels like the referees are almost confused a little bit, too. It's the first game for everybody this season.
I know the head referee, Dan Potopsky, is not going to be getting a Christmas card from Coach Lombardo this holiday season.
It certainly doesn't seem that way.
So,
you know, when that headset's off, there's something going on.
Did they give him the timeout, or, I mean, there's one timeout less. Tom Lombardo in his 11th year. Now the Eagles need to hold on a 2-point conversion. Or, well, they have the ball spotted for the 2-point conversion. Boy, talk about giving Liberty an extra amount of time.
Yeah, right. They're catching their breath here, giving them some time to think, and it's this is a big play here. Looking like they're lining up the same formation this touchdown was just scored on here.
Wildcat offense. Davis running the football.
And
he gets hit, and does he get in? No! The Eagles hold on the 2-point conversion, and it's a 5-point lead for St. Ed's coming down. Olentangy Liberty fails on the 2-point conversion, The Eagles are down 12-7 with 5:33 to go in the game. You're watching Olympic Forest Products St. Edward High School football on the Eagles Sports Network and NEO Productions.
When your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your first patient. Until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
12-7, Olentangy Liberty taking the lead with 5:33 to go. And the big play of the drive, it wasn't the touchdown by Liberty, it was the 2-point stand on the defensive side by the Eagles.
Yeah, both of Liberty's conversions here after their touchdowns are no good. And, they take a gamble there with a 2-point conversion, and the Eagles make one heck of a stand there.
Tyler Brown making the initial hit on the defensive side of the football.
And you can assume this is going out the back of the end zone if we've learned anything from the past 2 kicks here.
Well, you got 3 speedsters in Hall, Williams, and Lemur.
Looks like we have a TV timeout here. Things are still hanging on.
First down, and the Eagles looking to not start at the 20-yard line.
No, with those athletes back there, you look for some of those explosives to come out of your special teams. And, again, back at the end zone. That
has been the big play for the Liberty Patriots, the kickoff.
That's big to have a kicker like that. It just takes that portion of your team. It completely defeats them.
That last drive for Liberty, 5 plays, the touchdown, took 2:28 to go. The Eagles with 5:33 remaining in the fourth quarter, finding themselves down 12-7. The Eagles have a pretty good record on opening day. They're 49-23-4. Since 2000, they're 20-5 in Week 1 games.
Yeah, you love to hear that stat. They've been pretty successful, and hopefully you get a drive going here. And oh boy,
Langston Lucas breaks a tackle, falls ahead to the 22-yard line. He got popped back 5 yards and was still able to come out with a 2-yard gain. And there's a Liberty player down after the hit. And I think that was the player that made the initial hit.
Yeah, he hit him in the backfield there pretty hard. Lucas, made something out of nothing there.
Well, he got hit, and then he got pushed back 5 yards and was able to still get the 2 yards. You look at St. Ed's and the way this program since 2010, but in the last 5 years, 5 regional titles, 5 state semifinals, 3 state championships. I believe you participated in 1 or 2 of those?
That if my memory serves me well, then that is correct.
Great.
What a fun couple of years that was, honestly. The success of this program has been great, and, it couldn't be more blessed to be a part of those teams.
So the Eagles with a very successful program over the last 5 years, but when you really look at it, over the past 16 years, when they won that first title in 2010, it's just been St. Ed's at the top of the lineup as we take a look at the Olentangy Liberty schedule. And, things don't get any easier for them. They take on Glenville at home next week, and they lost to them last year in the opening game of the season.
Yeah, another powerhouse team from Northeast Ohio. And, you love to see a Columbus team travel in the state to take on, really some of the best in the state.
There you have Olentangy Orange, where they finished the series. The OCC in Division I has produced the last 2 state champions, Olentangy Orange and Liberty.
Yeah, and that's just a testament to the programs that they're building down in Columbus, or Columbus area for that matter. And, it's awesome to see that those teams are doing very well.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8, 5:14 to go. Here comes a reverse. Williams has room, has a block at the 30 to the 35, close to the 40-yard line.
That's your big play right there. Open things up, get the ball down the field, and that makes this offense feel a little more energized and comfortable here later. And that's that's one of Coach Lombardo's big plays here. Good lead blocks, gets to the sideline, and like I said, Deshaun, he's been in motion all night long, and he's been waiting on that big play right there, and finally makes it happen.
Who was leading on that block downfield? The quarterback, Langston Lucas.
And that's just a testament to the type of team player he is. He'll lay it out all on the line for you.
1st and 10, 3 down linemen. They're going to give the ball to Woods. Woods bouncing to the outside, or make that Ronnie Neal, and he gets out of bounds close to the first down. They're saying where he is out of bounds at the 44.
Dang.
Wow. So he stepped out at the 44. It's a gain of 5 on the play. 5 minutes remaining in regulation.
Yeah, that's another big play right there. You know, start off a drive, first down, getting halfway there.
Eagles little confused at the line of scrimmage, trying to set up that offensive line. It'll be Langston Lucas on the run, and a first down as he gets it to midfield.
Yeah, that spin towards the end of the run there propelled them forward a couple extra yards, and they get the sticks moving again here.
Clock will stop at the moment.
Just another draw play. You got a pulling guard that comes in that just, it pushes that pile forward. And like I said, that spin right there was kind of the sealer for that first down.
Langston Lucas, first-year starter on the football team, but he'll be a 4-year starter on the baseball team. Started as a first baseman his freshman year.
Testament to the type of athlete he is. And again, going back to, like I said in the first half, the dual sport athlete that Coach Lombardo loves so much.
On first down, it'll be Lucas again, keeping the ball. He got hit, spins out of a tackle, and he's going to gain a yard on the play. Chase Thornton making the initial hit.
Really stood him up there, and that's a heck of a play from Thornton there on defense. But credit to Lucas there. It takes more than one guy to bring him down.
What should have been a loss of a yard ends up getting a gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, and like I said, you love to see that. Minimizing damage there, especially on such a key critical drive here.
3:50 and counting in the fourth quarter. Eagles are down by 5. Neal in the backfield along with Langston Lucas. Play action fake. Throw up the middle. Catch is made. Joe Moore taking it down, but we've got a flag down at the 42-yard line. And it's going to be on Olentangy Liberty.
After time and time again, it feels like those have been going Liberty's way all night.
And we'll get the call on the field. Holding on the defensive side. That's a huge play. They'll decline it and take the big yards.
And you can feel the energy in this stadium starting to pick up. These guys on the field, they love it. Everybody's feeding off of it right now.
That was a gain of 19 yards on the play as the Eagles have it at the Olentangy Liberty 33-yard line with 3.5 and counting.
And right back to his biggest target. Probably been the most consistent all night.
Joe Moore,
time again.
5 catches, 49 yards. Lucas. Neal. Nope, it's Lucas. He'll throw the ball. Williams cuts inside at the 25. He'll get it down to the 23. Stays in bounds. The clock continues to roll.
And these guys pumping up the crowd, pumping up the sideline, and like I said, time and time again, it's big play after big play. That option play, it's kind of a staple of the St. Edward offense. It gives you the option of your running back, your quarterback can take off with it, and then again, he found his third option there, the bubble to Deshaun.
Dason Williams with a gain of 9 on the play.
He's been coming up big all night too.
2nd down and 1 after that big play. Joe Moore, the tight end, H-back position to the near side. Woods squeaks through the 20-yard line.
Wow.
Still on his feet to the 15. It looked like he was shut down, but it was able to pick up an extra 5-6 yards.
And look at this play right here. He gets stood up, he gets hit, and it's the yards after contact. That balance right there is what propels him forward. And big yards there and moving the sticks yet again for this Eagle offense.
David Anayechi had him in his grips, but then couldn't hang on to him. Clock down to 2:10. Eagles down by 5 inside the red zone at the 15-yard line. Fresh set of downs for St. Ed's. Ronnie Neal in the backfield. It's Langston Lucas. He gets inside the 10-yard line to the 9.
Right back to the guy who's been making plays time and time again this entire evening. Doing it with his legs too. Just right up the middle. The line gave him a good hole, and he takes advantage of it.
Langston Lucas has thrown the ball for 116 yards.
If I'm not mistaken, he's perfect tonight. 14 for 14.
He's carried the ball 16 times for 30 yards. Those are a hard 30 yards against this defense. Neal in the backfield. Lucas, low snap, gives it to Neal. He bounces to the outside, cuts back in, fighting to the 2-yard line. Knox Brunning coming in on the tackle for the Liberty Patriots, along with Chase Thornton.
And here we go, right up the middle again, going right back to Neal, and he's just putting his shoulder down and doing anything for this offense to propel them, get them in the end zone.
Liberty will call timeout. We're going to keep it here. Ronnie Neal last year only had 1 carry for 4 yards. Today, he's run the ball very well. But when you look at St. Ed's and the way they've run the ball, it hasn't been big yardage. It's hard-fought yards that they've been getting.
It's chunks and chunks and chunks, and they're winning the line of scrimmage right now in this drive, and what a perfect time to do it and when they need it the most.
They are over 100 yards more in total offense against Olentangy Liberty. Liberty with 137 yards, St. Ed's with 237 yards in total offense. Liberty down to 1 yard. The Eagles have passed for 116. Now they've rushed the ball for 121 yards, led Langston Lucas, or Dason Williams has 33, Lucas with 30, and then you look at the running of Ronnie Neal Jr.
They've been doing it all. They've been spreading the ball out, and you love to see, you get the crowd here, they're on their feet. Everybody's into this right now. It's a huge play here right on the goal line.
78 yards so far in this drive that has taken 4 minutes and 20 seconds. 1:13 remaining on the clock here in the fourth quarter, but the Eagles looking to score. They're down by 5. Leamer, the receiver, on the numbers to the right. Williams on the near side. Neal, Lucas, up the middle. Touchdown, Eagles!
I mean, what a drive from this Eagle offense. Time and time again, just picking up chunks, and you can feel the energy of this building right now. They're feeling it.
13-12, St. Ed's, as you look at the run.
And I'll tell you right here, look at the line of scrimmage. Everybody's in the end zone. That's something that they preach and coach and practice. The mantra that they go by is everybody scores. Everybody, whether you have the ball or not.
You look at the sideline for St. Ed's. They are jacked.
This entire drive, they've had this crowd getting back into it. And, testament to this defense, too. A couple big stops, and it's all started with that 2-point conversion that they held up. And, it really gave a spark to this offense.
Boy, what a game by the Eagles. That was a drive that you wanted. Move the ball, move the sticks, get some help, big plays.
Yeah, and testament to Coach Lombardo, too. I haven't met any other coach that clock manages the way he does. And, that's just a testament to the offense, too, that he has, that, composed, and they've done such a splendid job.
So the Eagles, do you think they'd go for 2 or just get the extra point and force Liberty to maybe go for a field goal long?
It looks like they're keeping the offense out here, going for 2 here, stretch it out. And this is very similar to Coach Lombardo's 4th down plays. He has a lot of trust in his offense here.
11 plays on that drive, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 22 seconds. That's a typical Lombardo drive.
You know it. And, like I said, they willed their way down the field with Langston running up the middle and, Ronnie Neal with big plays down the stretch.
Eagles are going to go for 2 to look to make it a 3-point lead with 1:11 on the clock. Neal to his left. Leamer and Williams to the right. Hall is to the near side. In motion is Williams. Lucas looking, gets it over to Dason Williams. He's wide open for the 2-point conversion, and the Eagles are up by a score of 15-12.
And Dason Williams, again, time and time again, he's been the big play type of guy all night long. And whether it's been those 2-3 yard chunk plays or an extra point conversion there, we seem to keep calling his name all night long.
Talk about rolling the dice. When you played with Coach Lombardo, he loved to roll the dice.
Absolutely, and nothing has changed, and that's for certain. I love it. There's an energy to this stadium right now. The momentum's on our side, and this defense is hopefully going to come out and do the same thing.
It's time to take a look at our J.P. Farley Player of the Game. J.P. Farley, empowering people, elevating benefits. That man, number 10, Langston Lucas, is our Player of the Game. He's 14 of 14 for 116 yards. He's rushed the ball 17 times for 32 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, like I said, a captain of the offense, a commander of the offense. He, time and time again, he has done it all night long with his legs and through the air.
Langston Lucas, our J.P. Farley Player of the Game. J.P. Farley, empowering people, elevating benefits. We still have 1:11 to go. It is very important that the Eagles get a deep kick by Luke Andrzejczyk. You do not want to give these return men any option to run the ball.
Yep.
Davis is on the near side.
Carter Nelson, is he back there?
And Don Schwinnen. Max Ford is the man in the middle. Andrzejczyk is going to go short. Pooch is the kick, and it's taken at the 29-yard line. Up the middle, a hard hit to the 35, and forward progress may get him to the 36. Now the defense is going to have to come up big.
And just like I said, look at this energy on the sideline. The coaches, the players, the stands, everybody's getting into it. This is going to be a big drive here for the Eagle defense and the Liberty offense.
The Eagle defense cannot afford a letdown. Just because you're up by 3, this is a team that can strike big. 2 timeouts for the Eagles, 1 for Liberty. 3 wide receivers are going to go empty backfield, 5 wide receivers set. Alex Leonard is going to drop back to throw. Here's the rush up the middle, incomplete, as they were looking at Caden Schmelmer, and a good heavy rush from the outside.
John Troy, huge play there, pass breakup. It just seemed like he blanketed that receiver from the start of the snap to the breakup.
Brings up 2nd down and 10. Look at the outside pass rush.
Huge pursuit, makes a play on the ball, and what a big play. It stops the guy. This is going to be the longest minute of the entire game. This Eagle defense, the Coach Pappas-led defense, they're built for these kind of moments.
Alex Leonard breaks the huddle. Leonard is 8 of 11 for 54 yards with a touchdown pass. He'll have Grayson Davis in the backfield. 4 down linemen for St. Ed's. Leonard looking to throw up the middle, and it's incomplete.
Get on it.
Oh, good coverage. They go to the same man, the big man, that target, and it goes incomplete.
He almost caught it on his hip there, but it just seems like he couldn't hang on to it. Trying to squeeze one in through the middle here, and he gets his hands on it, but, another Lemur coming in and punching that ball out. What a big play from, your big-time player there on the backside.
Lemur and Thomas there to help out. Again, empty backfield, 5 wide receivers set. 56 seconds to go. Eagles dropping back. Leonard being chased. Throws to the near sideline. Incomplete.
Looking for his main guy. That looks like Carter Nelson there. Incomplete on the sideline. Brings up a big 4th down here.
It's loud here.
It's certain we can hardly hear each other.
I've been doing football for St. Ed's for 20 years. This is the loudest I've heard a home crowd besides the St. Ignatius game.
Yeah, most certainly. I think this crowd has also bought into the sound of the Spartans here. Everybody horns in hand. Like I said, everybody buying into this Spartan defense that Coach Pappas has created this year.
Again, 4 wide receivers set. Eagles dropping back. Here's the rush. There's the pass. Davis catching it, and he's going to get stopped at the 40-yard line on 4th down. The Eagles hold.
And you've got Noble James there with a big open field tackle, just shuts down this Liberty offense. As we have a look here, he goes to his check down, nothing downfield. In comes Noble James, wraps him up, and gets their best player to the ground.
When you have Grayson Davis in open field, anything could happen, and that's a huge stop by the Eagles.
Yeah, excited. I mean, that's the biggest play of the game so far. He open field tackle, and he makes it happen.
Brady, what a week one to start the season with. What a way for you to start your broadcasting here with St. Ed's with a great game.
Could have dreamt it any better. This is, it's wonderful to be back in this stadium watching Eagle football, and what a game to be a part of.
Okay, you know what it's like to be on the field. Now you kind of got a taste for it up here in the booth. What's the difference?
The adrenaline is the same. My heart is beating the same way it would when I was in those pads. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more excited. And 9 more weeks of this guaranteed, and then we got the playoffs. It's going to be a fun season this year for sure.
The Eagles will go in victory formation.
The best formation in sports. It might take a hit to Langston's stats, but I don't think he cares about that. They come out with a W here, and everybody's a happy camper here.
Oh, they'll call that a kneel down as Langston Lucas awaits the shotgun snap. He'll step, he'll drop a knee.
And he might have to do it one more time.
Yeah, there's 38 seconds. Let's see, they haven't set the ball yet. 33 seconds. I don't think the Eagles are going to have to run a play because they still haven't set the clock. And they're waiting. The officials are waiting 23 seconds. And that is going to be it. Look at Coach Lombardo on the sideline, throwing up fists in the air.
Yeah, he knows how hard his team fought for this one, and what an opening week victory for the Eagles. Look how excited they are. This is just awesome.
The Eagles, as we are down to 3-2-1, they open the season with a hard-fought 15-12 win over Olentangy Liberty. What a great week one game.
Like I said, couldn't have drawn it up any better.
We're going to take this time out. When we come back, you're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football on the Eagles Sports Network and NEO Productions as the Eagles win this one 15-12.
Golf can be tough.
Kind of like managing your supply chain without Olympic. Luckily, we know how to hit out the rough. And no miss gets needed. I mean, mulligans. You sure about that, Reed? I've got this. It's in the hole. Let's go!
At Olympic Forest Products, we know that feeling. For over 40 years, we've helped businesses avoid the hazards to sink long putts. Olympic Forest Products. However difficult the shot, we've got your back.
It's our 60th anniversary celebration at Joyce Buick GMC.
Come celebrate with huge savings on over 500 new and pre-owned vehicles.
You pay what we pay on every Buick Envision in stock.
Save up to $12,500 off new GMC Sierras.
We're giving you top dollar for your trade today.
And that's why people say,
Drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
Well, the Eagles come up with a 15-12 hard-fought victory over Olentangy Liberty, week one of the high school football season. And today's game is brought to you by Olympic Forest Products, consistent, reliable, built to go the distance. By Joyce Buick GMC, drive Joyce, your friends and neighbors do. By Tokar & Company CPAs, your full-service accounting team, tokar-co.com. JP Farley, empowering people, elevating benefits. By Cleveland Clinic, the official healthcare provider of St. Edward Athletics. And NEO Productions, the official broadcast partner of St. Edward High School. It's time for the Cleveland Clinic post-game report. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, the official healthcare provider of St. Edward Athletics. Boy, what a game for week one. Adam Mendoza along with Grady Lenz Piper. Eagles had to come back to win this one at the end with a great big drive and score.
Yeah, huge for the offense there. Really didn't have it going there most of the first half, and then in most of the portion of the second half. Getting it done on the last drive of the game was huge for us.
As we look at some of the numbers, one of the big numbers that we look at is the total yardage. St. Ed's with 235, and then 141 for Olentangy Liberty. That 235 was big, and that came in the second half.
It sure did, and yeah, most of that Olentangy offense came in the first half too. It was awesome to see that the Eagle offense got it going in the second half there, and the Eagle defense shutting down Liberty there in the second half.
There you see Coach Lombardo as he is really, as he's talking to his players, and this was a hard-fought game. Langston Lucas was our player of the game by J.P. Farley. What kind of day did he have? It was a perfect day passing. 14 of 14 for 152 yards, and then he also ran for 32 yards and scored a couple of touchdowns.
Wonderful to see him open up the season like that. First game as a starter, coming in, commanding this offense, commanding this team, and really just bringing a spark to the Eagles that they needed so much.
Well, the Eagles, it doesn't get any easier as they will take on Canton McKinley next week. And next week, St. Ed's will take on Canton McKinley from Baldwin Wallace Finney Stadium at 7 o'clock. So for Grady Lenz-Pfeiffer, I'm Adam Mendoza saying so long from First Federal Lakewood Stadium, where the final score is St. Ed's 15, Olentangy Liberty 12. This has been a presentation of the Eagle Sports Network and a production by Ennio Productions.